Coming up on Look Today, well, New York State Assembly members gathered in Albany again yesterday to continue the push for reform. What did they propose? Well, I've got details. Plus, Glens Hospital teaches local students about the dangers of smoking. And some sad news about the passing of former Warren County Family Court Judge Timothy Breen. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone and happy Friday. I'm J. Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Saratoga Springs Mayor Joanne Yepsen to discuss her focus on affordable housing in Saratoga. And we talk with Tyler Herrick and Mike Oborowski from the Sagamore about this year's Glacier Ice Bar and Lounge. Don't want to miss that. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, New York State Assembly members gathered yesterday in Albany once again to push forward the passing of the Spirit of 76 legislation. Now, the Spirit of 76 bill calls for legislation to bypass a committee and move to the floor for debate as long as it has the support of 76 members of the Assembly and 32 members of the Senate. Assembly members who are pushing for the passing of this bill believe that the Speaker and Senate Majority Leader hold too much power to stop bills from coming to the floor, even if they are supported by the majority. Well, yesterday, a longtime citizen lobbyist joined Assembly members to call for an end to this abuse of power. Our Assemblyman, Jim Tedisco, speaks about the need for better communication between the state government and its constituents.
Our worst fear is we won't be asked to get and speak in front of small groups, medium groups, and large groups. And the reason for that, if you see most of our members standing here today, we're outnumbered 2-to-1, 3-to-1 in the New York State Assembly. We've got to have the ability to communicate with our constituents, to use that bully pulpit right now under the rules and the conditions, to get the pressure across, to get what we think are good government issues and bills accomplished.
Good move. Changing from news to weather, boy, it's going to be some weekend. And it does look like that winter storm Jonas will skip over our region, going to the south. Well, let's see how this weekend is shaping up. For the latest, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. Back to the news. Well, Glens Falls Hospital has visited Warrensburg 7th graders to discuss the dangers of smoking. Heather LaSalvia from Glens Falls Hospital is also the program director for something called Reality Check, a youth-led organization that educates children and teens on the dangers of tobacco use. She spoke to 7th grade health class yesterday and focused on how cigarettes are marketing their products directly to them. It became clear in her presentation, which focused on the logos, packaging, and ad placement of cigarettes, that tobacco companies mimic marketing styles of what teens are already buying. The good news is only 7% of New York high school students smoke cigarettes daily. Now, this has significantly dropped from the percentage just 10 years ago. You want to know something? Education is key. And Reality Check currently hosts anti-smoking events and organizes campaigns to educate the youth. The organization, by the way, has chapters in Queensbury, South Glens Falls, and Schuylerville. In other news, we've got some sad news from Warren County. Former Warren County Family Court Judge Timothy Breen has passed away. Breen retired late last month after 30 years in Warren County Family Court, residing as the judge for 16 of those years. He had been battling cancer since November of 2014. Friends and colleagues are grieving the loss of an integral part of the Queensbury community. Now, Breen is being remembered for his dedication to helping families who wound up in his court. He would hold parents accountable and always wanted the best for the children whose cases he heard. Our condolences go out to his family. Also in the news, members of the New York State Department of Civil Services gathered in Saratoga Springs today. The Executive Deputy Commissioner, Lola Brabham, addressed the public on the main points from Governor Cuomo's recent State of the State address and how these points pertain to the Department of Civil Service. Cuomo's future plans for New York State focused on funds for permanent housing, Medicaid, and schools. He has also taken steps to reduce the corrupt culture in our state government. We caught up with Lola, who tells us why her presentation is important.
Well, at this time, really, all of these proposals are high level. This is what the governor has proposed, and, he will be working with the legislature to move these proposals forward and to hammer out the details.
That's great.
Well, still to come, we have an interview with Saratoga Springs Mayor Joanne Yepsen to talk about her priority to provide affordable housing in Saratoga. Plus, I catch up with our friends at the Sagamore, and they tell us about the upcoming Glacier Ice Bar and Lounge. You don't want to miss that one. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, or join us for an interview, give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000.